What's the line?
Just say you've been. Have you enjoyed?
I heard this at an event that the human attention span has now officially become lower than that of a goldfish. Yeah. Hi, I'm Dhruv Bhasin. I'm one of the co-founders of Arata, and I'm here to give you a masterclass on how to take your now newly formed idea or product to market with very, very practical advice. Over here, the masterclass is specifically about how you can be an internet-first product or a invented product. I'm going to break it down into two phases. Phase one is about sourcing and what I like to call the buying side, the buy side. What this involves is essentially how do you do the back-end work before you can get to a point of selling. Step one of phase one would be engage with a graphic designer, get their help to design your website, your labels, your packaging, and anything else that's brand related. This is the part also where you focus on something called the UX and UI. UX being user experience, which is focus a little bit more on the emotional human layout of what the website or the app would look like. UI being user interface, which focuses more on the technical aspects. So how can you optimize your website or app to the best possible level with regards to the interaction, the human interaction with the platform. After you finalize your UX, UI design, to engage with a competent developer, someone who can essentially translate that creative language onto a digital platform in terms of either your website or a marketplace or anything else. In this stage, you also want to ensure that you have very good copy and communications. Essentially what this does is this communicates the value proposition of your product or your invention to whoever your potential consumer or user may be. Very often the creatives may be great, the video may be great, whatever ads or creatives you're putting out there may look amazing, but if the value proposition of what your invention or product is not effectively communicated, it's a counterproductive process. When you're starting up, when you've got a new idea, a new product, something that can be very difficult is the manufacturing process. You've got your brand ready, you've got your collaterals ready, you've got potential packaging ready. How do you translate that into the physical product? So recently, there have been a lot of contract manufacturers who have set up an entire industry to help new brands go to market. We've seen an explosion of startups across the ecosystem, across categories. And specifically when you're dealing with the product, these contract manufacturers are a huge help. Often, we may not have the capabilities, like we didn't, have the capability or the resources to set up our own factory. So we reached out to these contract manufacturers. They help you to obtain your final product the way you've envisioned it with a very low MOQ, which is your minimum order quantity. You also don't want to be sitting on too much stock in your first order, because when you initially set the product out into the market, you want to make sure that you've got it right and you're actually giving the consumer what they want and you're actually being able to solve the problem that you set out to solve. So it's good to not sit on too much stock, get your initial learnings, and then you can place your next order. Phase two is what I like to call the selling side or the sell side. These are usually quite finance terms, buy side and sell side, but I feel they apply very well to when you're starting up your business as well. The biggest learning I have from our experience is focus on really unique creatives, whether they're static or even better is video ads. Static and video ads that can really help you communicate your unique positioning in the market. So while we're scrolling, our attention span is so weak that we have to ensure that our consumer sees something really startling and unique that we get their attention and get them to stop. More importantly, we have to make sure that if they're seeing a static or a video, we're able to communicate our value proposition within seconds. The ideal timeline for communicating your value proposition is less than 10 seconds. So within those 10 seconds of, if it's a video, you get your brand name out there, the use case out there, and the problem you're solving out there. The rest, beyond 10 seconds, only gets 20% of viewership. So the first 80% of people who will see your video will be watching the first 10 seconds. So very, very important to remember. The final step before you start selling is listing your products, pricing them right on your website, on marketplaces, and any other platform that you deem appropriate. Take advantage of marketplaces. They get a lot of organic traffic that may be costly and difficult to drive to your website in the early days. Use those platforms. They're quite easy to sign up for. They have great support teams that can help you list, optimize your brand pages, your product pages, and take full advantage of that. Now that you're ready to sell, you start running your ads, you start showing your creatives, you start showing your videos, and essentially you are now communicating your value proposition and you are ready to sell, sell, sell. If you like this masterclass and you want to watch many more such videos, please like, share, subscribe, you know what to do, to the Inventor Challenge YouTube channel.